Okay, so I think I'm gonna make this a devlog episode number one. So first of all, just to talk about myself, my name's David. I'm a full stack engineer, software engineer that focuses on web development. I've been doing that for about like 7 to 8 years now. Mostly working with like Angular, recently some React and React Native, backend like Spring Boot, Postgres, Mongo DB, blah 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 blah. So yeah, I'm trying to make a devlog here because I recently moved to South Korea. My wife is Korean, so she was missing. We lived in America, but she was missing Korea quite a lot. So we decided to move out here, and then I had to actually quit my basically nice, cushy job that I had in order to come over here, and I had to find another job that was allowing me to work internationally because my first job would not let me work internationally. So I ended up doing that, and it was going well. It's been going well actually. I was able to get a salary bump. Started working with like some React Native stuff, and learning some technologies that I just have never had experience with before. But recently, I mean, I'm catching wind that our entire team, I think, might be getting laid off. So I figured this might be a good time to potentially start a YouTube channel or to start like posting to my YouTube channel and just do a devlog because I kind of want to work on a side project that I've had as like a goal in the back of my mind. And I think this could be a way to keep me accountable as well as just something that I can look back on like hopefully in the future when like if the application that I want to build comes to fruition. But yeah, I mean basically our team has been getting like laid off like one person at a time, and it's basically down to me and one other developer. So that's obviously not a good sign. I think it's due to a lack of sales, um, which is really unfortunate, but it is what it is. So yeah, I'm kind of stranded out here over in South Korea, and I have two options, which is going to be look for another job, which I'm obviously going to do, and maybe potentially try to turn this into something. So we'll just consider this the starting point. So I can go ahead and show like what I have right now. So once again, the goal is to make a game. So like the application that I want to make is a 3D browser game, potentially multiplayer, and I want to have like a full stack application around it. Now, like I know I could be doing this in Unity or in Unreal Engine, some of these established tools for creating games, but I'm a software engineer or I'm a web developer, so I'm used to kind of like web development, browser development. So I thought it would be kind of fun to maybe see if it's possible to do all of this just in the browser. So yeah, the goal is to make a 3D browser game with multiplayer, with like online presence and chat, friend requests, all the kind of stuff that would be like in a normal full stack application. And I already have some of it implemented, like really, really beginning, early stages. So I mean, I can show you my directory, my folder structure here a little bit, and I can demo the application, like what I have right now. But it's currently like Angular on the front end. I'm using Colyseus for the socket connections, which are going to be used for like the chatting and the friend requests, and then potentially the multiplayer game stuff. And then with Angular, I'm using BabylonJS, so that's for like rendering 3D stuff in the browser. And then we got Mongo DB, and then we got what else? Express for the backend, like API, and Docker to just kind of deploy everything locally or set up everything locally. And then I haven't really deployed too much yet. I've been playing around with like deploying to AWS, but that's kind of where it's at right now. I'll just show you really quickly what I have. So the first thing I'm going to show off here, super rudimentary, but we got it kind of working how I want, is this so this is running in the browser. This is client side only. There's no multiplayer aspect to this right now. It's just a simple like canvas rendering on the browser with 3D. So I got all like the movements down to where you can like run around. I have a gun working. This gray stick here is a gun, so you can like shoot stuff. There's hit detection, hit markers, swap weapons if you want. Let's see. So you got like a silencer here, and you can throw some grenades, like little Yoshi eggs. Boom, boom, boom. And what else? I think I had like a stab mechanic, but I don't know what key I bound that to. W E. Yeah, I have no idea. I think I had it so you can stab. Or you can crouch, stand up. I think if like you run out of ammo on the bottom right there, you can see that there's like ammo, like tracking of ammo. There's a kill feed, which was working before. I did have it, so it was passing in the proper names of like who killed who. But I think it stopped working because I was playing around with like the socket connection stuff. So yeah, it's pretty cool, I think. And then you got like some like cooldowns. Like if you're reloading, right, you can't just fire your weapon; it goes on cooldown. But you could swap weapons, just like in Call of Duty kind of deal. So yeah, like all of this took like forever to get working. Just getting these models to render in, like the hit detection, the physics of like throwing the grenades, collision, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So this is kind of just like that basic, prototyping, if you will. Anyways, and then just like getting the gun loop to work, like when you hold down the mouse, like firing the gun. I have all this stuff in place where you can control like the fire rate of the weapon, all that kind of stuff. I don't even know if I want to make an FPS game. This is just kind of something that stuck out to me. So yeah, take it for what it's worth, right? So then the next thing I guess I'll showcase, right? So this is kind of like, that's if you click into this BabylonJS tab here, that's like the client side only, single player, if you will, 3D game for right now, or at least like the prototype of it. But I also have, like currently I'm logged in as MintOwl. It says hello MintOwl, so I'll show you guys that as well. Let me log out. So I got this login screen. I'm gonna half screen it here because I want to open up 2 windows. I'll log out of this user too. Oops. Okay, so we got login screen. So I have some basic authentication using like just JWT logic, where you're like JSON web tokens, and then just storing the information in the database. Once again, it's super rudimentary right now. Like I'm not encrypting anything. It's all local. So whatever. So you also have the ability to sign up. Like so let's say I didn't have an account. There's a sign up page where you can input your information, create an account. But we have like a bunch of dummy accounts created already. So boom, boom, boom. So I'm going to log in as MintOwl over here on the left. And then I'll log in as another user called Senjoku. And pardon the picture, that's just one of my good friends. So I put him as like the background of the login page for right now. Obviously the UI will be changing as time progresses. So anyways, so you log in. Right now I'm just hitting this like basic home screen, which is going to have like the matchmaking, like where you can join lobbies and stuff, but there's no lobbies created. So yeah, you could join or create a lobby. That's kind of super, super basic. But the thing I have been working on a lot is this friend feature. So if you press tab, it'll pop up this window on the left here, which will take you to kind of like this social tab, the social side nav bar. And you'll see that you have a list of your online friends, offline friends, pending friend requests. You could send friend requests up here if you wanted to. You could filter your friends. If I wanted to search for like Arshmazing, right? It'll filter the list and show me Arshmazing, so on and so forth. But the cool thing here is I actually do have the socket connections working for this. So you can do, you can like send messages and everything. So like, hello, boom. And it'll pop up in real time over here on this user with a little notification. He clicks into it. He can see the, the message, of course. What's up? And so on and so forth. And it'll populate like in real time. So I thought that's pretty cool. Also, I have the ability, I can remove this friend if I wanted to. That shows up in real time. Shows that you unfriended MintOwl. I can always add him back. Boom, shows up in real time up here. There's a friend request. I can either accept it, reject it. I can also revoke it over here if I wanted to. So all this kind of stuff. So this took a lot of effort to just get to this point where like it was happening in real time, because I had never worked with socket connections before. I've always used like HTTP and REST and all that good stuff. So this was kind of a challenge for me. But it's definitely something that's worthwhile looking into if you want to have chats and online presence and stuff like that. I also have it so you can like, expand these and collapse them. You can rearrange them, stuff like that. It's all just done using like Angular and Angular material. What else is there to showcase? Oh, so I have like super basic, right? I can create a game. I'll just create like a testing game, right? So I've loaded into a testing game, which you can see it looks familiar to the single player game that I was showing you before. And then let me log in again, because I don't actually have this part set up with sockets yet to where it refreshes in real time. So I need to log in. So now I can see when I hit my login page over here, I can see that there's a lobby that was created called testing, sandbox mode. It was created by MintOwl at this time, blah, blah, blah. So I can actually join this, right? I should be able to spawn in now. And then if I turn around, I should be able to see, there you go. I can see MintOwl. So it's, once again, super jank, and this also took forever to get working. But I have a basic starting point for like socket-based connection where I can move around some player and it renders on the other dude's browser, and it's all in real time. So obviously this will be like the foreground or the fundamental setup for like the multiplayer aspect of the game, right? Like whatever it may be. So yeah, whatever it may be. I'm not even sure. I could even change this project to just be a single player game. Obviously that would be a lot easier. I'm just kind of showing what I have right now, and then hopefully, yeah, just talking about plans for the future. So I'm going to log out here, and I'll log out over here. I think that kind of shows like everything that I have currently implemented. What else? But yeah, it's all here. It's, so basically I'm using GitHub to push my code and maintain everything. Being super lax on the on the branching and everything though, but whatever. So yeah, I mean, I can always get into more details. So like, basically the plan of this channel is going to be to just give updates like this to kind of hold myself accountable, and then to show kind of, yeah, what I've done, like how the app has progressed, because that'd be super cool, like later if it turns into a well-established app, to just kind of have this history maintained of what it used to look like. And I do also plan on like doing tutorials maybe of showing how I got to the point that I'm at now, as well as moving forward. Like, I think it's really important to spread knowledge. Obviously, like if you figure out how to do something, especially in software engineering, it's not always conventional, or it's not always, uh, you know, it's not always an easy thing to implement software, especially as it gets more complex. So if I do figure stuff out, I would love to share with you guys. And then obviously, I'm still prone to making mistakes, and I would always love to hear feedback. And I need to learn some stuff as well. Like I'm not really good at like deployment related stuff, DevOps stuff. That's not really my strong suit. Never worked with 3D rendering in the browser. Never worked with sockets up until this point. So I also have a lot to learn. But anyway, I figured, yeah, just do this devlog, and if it's just me watching this, then I'll have something to look back on. If there's any interest for this kind of thing, then feel free to subscribe to the channel. If anyone else is in South Korea, let me know. We can always hang out and then do some development stuff together, or play some League of Legends or something like that. Anyways, that's all I got for today. Peace.